being verified on Google and managing your knowledge panel is probably as important as having your LinkedIn. Hey, Katie.
Hi, how are you?
Good, good. Who else we got coming?
Bree should be here.
Happy New Year.
You too. Did you do anything?
Play basketball.
Nice.
Planning my trip to Europe. I think I want to do Norway and Greece and some other Iceland, some other
Hi,
places.
Jen.
Hey.
How are you?
Oh, it's been a while. There you are.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Good to see you.
You got me excited via email with your
Good.
message.
Well, good. You know, we
Thank you.
it's been a long time and AI has come a long way, and I'd love to see you ladies take advantage of it. And I think there's people can see how cool stuff is, but then for some reason they get busy or there's other priorities or whatever, and they don't implement all these things. My hope is that we can actually just implement a lot of this.
Okay. Sounds
And
great.
and any hurdle there is, like if you need our help doing it, I just want to check the box, right? Like does not trying to blame anybody or anything like that. So the good news is last time we looked at the site, you've improved actually a lot in the keywords. Have you looked at any of these? Any of the stats? Any of the SEO stats?
No,
No, I didn't think so. Because
I haven't. Katie maybe has, but I haven't.
I think I checked some of the logins just to see if people are using the tools or whatnot, and I don't think they were. But you're doing some things which are actually causing the keywords and traffic to go up, which may or may not result in more coaches coming in or whatnot. Because in one of our calls, we talked about how just because you can get more traffic doesn't mean it's a good thing. Same thing with like social media, right? And the keywords that have come in have improved a lot. Because when we looked last time, it was obviously JVA, which is a branded term, and a lot of things around specific tournaments that you guys run. But you said you wanted to get more traffic that was for coaches who wanted to, from more of a business side, wanted to manage better, organize the teams, run the thing like a business instead of just drills and how do you jump higher and that kind of stuff. So you still have a lot of these same things that have worked for you before, score sheets and events, right? Victory, which is funny. These guys are paying for everyone. I'd be careful about that. If you do too much sponsorship with them, they could actually hurt you.
Really?
Yeah, because they're wandering into that gray area of sponsorships where you're not disclosing. You know what I'm talking about? Where all these athletes, they're saying, "Oh, I'm jumping higher," and they're kind of lying. I mean, they're doing it kind of fun, like, "Oh, they're just pretending to jump," and then they put in the insoles, and all of a sudden they're just like sky high jumping, right?
So you're saying like false marketing?
Yeah, it's definitely false. It's. I think they're going to be set up for a lawsuit, but I just be careful. A lot of friends of mine are like, "Oh yeah, they paid me $50 to make a post," and they make this fake post. Have you not seen these on social media?
I scroll past them.
Okay. I mean, it's done in sometimes like in a humorous way, but I think there's a lot of people that are being misled. A lot of
Uh-huh.
athletes especially, we're like, oh, if I put in the victory insoles, I'll jump 12 inches higher. That's not true.
Well, it's interesting because I got USA Volleyball's approval to, promote like Logan or not Logan, Jordan Larson
Yeah,
and their team.
yeah. I
Hmm.
mean, I think they're just being very aggressive in their
Yeah.
marketing and whatnot. And so what they're doing with influencers, I think, is very illegal.
Mm. Okay.
Just
Sorry.
my professional opinion, having taught a lot on influencer marketing and what you should do and not going to jail and that kind of thing.
Okay. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So whether here or there, I mean, you guys are not going to get busted most likely. It's like jaywalking. It's not legal, but who's actually going to get a ticket, right? But whatever the FTC is claiming, well, some people have actually been busted recently, so they're actually stepping up enforcement. So I don't know. You can speculate.
Okay.
Okay, so you have a lot of these new keywords like this. How do you measure vertical jump or benefits of leg up the walls? And this is just a normal dance of up and down, right? And then if we look at the top pages, you can see that oddly you gain and lose some pages, but it hasn't really this should naturally just go up over time. Just with like, the more articles you have, this should just go up. So I would look at, well, why are you losing some of these pages? There's just not enough juice for them to be indexed? You have plenty of juice on the site. You're like a 56, I think. What do you?
A lot of them are cyclical too, if the event is approaching and then it's done.
Yeah.
What do you think?
But you could still have the archive of it, which helps you.
Mm-hmm.
Because they could have the event every year and then it's the such and such name, but this year, and they could see what happened last year or whatever. So this one we were looking at is new. You've had some of these on vertical jump before, scorekeeper training you've had before. So if any of these you think are pages, because it's just like you have to kind of prioritize, but if any of these are ones that you would like to get more of because they rank on volleyball score sheet or passing drills, which we've seen before, setter, which is we've not seen as much, but we've seen these drills. You have a lot of these drills. Then it's not hard to, like, all you have to do is literally say, okay, this page here, it's of the 872. Like, usually you want to choose one of these ones because if you choose one of the top pages to use AI to improve, it's usually going to have a higher impact than choosing one of the last 100 pages of the 872, right? So let's just say, okay, this scorekeeper training, okay?
Yeah.
Let's just say you choose a few pages and then like, okay, this is one of them, let's just say, right? You have rich media. So there's the YouTube video. There's these other pieces here. So you immediately go straight to, okay, here it is. Here's the sheets. That's why it ranks because Google wants to know that you give people right away what they're looking for, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then how do we make this better? Well, if I copy this and then I paste it into the AI, and this is the article grader thing that we made. You know the whole thing with ChatGPT where it's getting smarter and this kind of thing. And you can give it instructions and whatnot. So I'll say for JVA who wants to attract more coaches, especially for memberships, paid memberships, not just like free content on how to do stuff. How can they improve this mid funnel asset? I'm going to paste in the article and the SEO stats on it, right? Because you have to arm the AI with the information, right? Otherwise, it's like, garbage in, garbage out, right? Okay, so do this in stages. So don't analyze yet, okay? So I'm talking like, not talking to it like a search engine, right? And I recommend you guys, if you have multiple people, use the Teams edition on ChatGPT, which this is all new since we talked, right? Because now I can share these chats with other people, right? Okay, so I'll say like, all right, I'm treating it like a coworker, right? Here's the page. There it is. I just pasted it in. And then the stats on this page, see where this page, let's grab the stats on this page here, 81 keywords. So now like I'm using the scorekeeper training. And I could take a screenshot and I could even, you can zoom with the thing. You can like FaceTime with it. It can look at video and talk to you and, it does all that stuff, right? But I'm just gonna, it's like freaking Matrix, Terminator, sci-fi. I mean, but it's real. I can show you right now if you want to see any of it. Okay. So here's the SEO stats. I pasted it in. Okay. There we go. Now I can cheat. Schools call it cheating because I can just have it improve that or just give me thoughts on how to do this. And if I can just accept or reject any of the suggestions that it's making, right? So it's basically saying that you have the score sheets linked there, but you have not really explained more about what it is. You've not linked more to it because you could link to it more because there's not many inbound links coming to this page. See? The page has no authority, even though it's one of your top pages, but it still ranks on these keywords out of the 11, 12, 13,000 that you have.
So we have two others. They're all together in the officiating section, and that's where I typically link, so people can go there and see all three.
Okay, or just wherever it is. I'm just saying as an example, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're saying there's more that you could do. So
Mm.
instead of just linking to the score sheets, you could have interactive stuff. You could have other. I mean, it's telling you what you could do, and then I could just say, okay, that's all great, but we have a small team and can't build out all those extra sorts of things. Okay. Can you just give me the additional text to make it better and explain what you did? And if you want to go to, you could say like, oh, there's this other place that has three of them. Like we can go there too. I just wanted to show you as an example off of one page, right?
So where it says competitive keywords, such as like on the back end, anytime we add resources, it says keywords in WordPress. So that would just be plugging those words there.
Yeah, that's easy to do. Yeah, we could do that too. Because we're obviously WordPress. I mean, WordPress is based on tags and pages and categories and all that, right? Yeah. So here it's, not only do you have the list of resources, but it just adds a couple extra tips. Or maybe there's some EEAT, some experience where coaches say, yeah, I really love using these spreadsheets. There's like whatever it is, right? So this is super simple. You literally just talk to the thing. I mean, it's basically foolproof. I don't understand like even if you have no experience using these tools or whatever, right? Take any of these things and we go to any page and the AI can enhance it based on whatever you tell it.
Okay.
And then when you do that, it's just a better user experience. It goes after better keywords. Like literally what you just said, Bree, I could say, what keywords should I add as tags for this WordPress page? Why is it? Oh, oops. It turned it into a canvas. So now it's doing the left and right. So on the right side's the document.
Okay.
So now we're having a chat on the left side. This is our discussion. And on the right side's the document. And the document is changing as we're going, right? And now it's giving me other keywords I can go after, which by the way, should just be the keywords that you're already ranking on, but maybe some other ones that you want, but are not in there. Right.
Yeah, we implemented the link whisperer, but I haven't had a chance to say it anymore. But that seemed helpful.
Yeah, link was that could be like, not that I advocate doing this, but literally just because you're a high trust site and because your content is good based on what users are saying, literally if you only used Link Whisper and only took mostly automatic suggestions, that would probably create this huge boost in your SEO. I mean, I don't recommend doing that because I feel like that's like a very thin way of doing things. But if if the choice is like that or nothing, I would take it, right? Because it'd be a huge improvement. Obviously, it's like, do you want to get a C in a class or fail it? Well, I'll take the C, but I prefer an A, right? I'm just a big fan of, or maybe someone's putting in the effort to do these blogs, right?
Right.
Well, these are obvious things that you can go back and literally take 5 minutes per blog post to enhance. Like that's a no-brainer that an intern could do, as long as they're.
And when you say enhance, you're saying keywords or you're saying?
I'm saying make the article better, figure out where the links should be, adding in the right keyword, like everything to make it a better article, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I could say, okay, so let's say this article, okay? Congratulate new members of the board, Maggie and Chris. Okay, cool. Now make this blog post. I don't even need to say what it is because it already can read the thing and know what it is, right? Okay. So now I pasted in that blog post and it's thinking because it's got the little stop button here and it's turned gray. So it's thinking. Okay. So I think was it bolded before? Let's see. Where was I? I've got so many tabs open. It's insane. Oh, yeah. For readability, it recommended bolding some of those. Like, oh, that's a good idea.
Okay.
Welcome, Chris. Then there's Maggie. A little bit more about the board. Okay.
Okay. So question for you.
Yeah.
To view the complete list of JVA board directors, click here. Is that a no-no?
That's
to click here?
It's yes and no. Like generally, we don't like to say click here.
Yeah.
Unless it's a call to action.
It's just so easy. What else?
In marketing, it's if it's a landing page and the main thing is to get people to click on it, then say click here. If it's for SEO or it's articles,
right,
then you would rather put the anchor text on JVA board of directors, because anchor text of click here is like one of the most common sins in the world of web pages, because like how many web pages?
How do I write that? View JVA board directors? And
you just say, hey, view the complete list of JVA board director, and then you just anchor text that, and people know that if this thing is blue with an underline, then it's obvious that's the thing to click, right? Like if you don't know that, then you're like 70 years old and internet illiterate, right? Like, come on. right?
Or even the
Okay.
top of that paragraph, the JVA Board of Directors governs the organization. Like you could just link that. Like you don't
Without even
know.
stating
Yeah.
that.
Like people are going to know, like, oh, I want to see the Board of Directors. Oh, that's a link.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should, but you'd be surprised on the internet, or maybe not. I don't know.
Okay.
But do you see, like right now, it's this thing's so smart. It's it's gone into canvas mode automatically, right? Meaning it understands like, oh, I'm working on a document, dude. So we'll chat here on the left, and on the right there's a document. So I can play dumb. Tell me again, what changes did you make? You don't say that to the search engine, right? You don't, because you don't talk to it like that, right? Then I'm asking it, okay, so what did you do? And it said, well, this is what I did, right? Oh, subheadings. Yeah, you didn't have any subheadings, did you? I didn't even notice that, did I?
Never do.
Yeah. Okay, well, see, I
Oh,
mean, I've
no,
done
that's
this for
not true.
35, I've done
I
this for 35
do.
years and I'm not even, where are they? Oh, there's
One
one.
like this, I
Okay.
don't. Yeah,
Right.
but the education, yes.
Yeah. But like, why wouldn't you? It's like, oh, I don't have enough time, or like, yeah, but the freaking AI can do it instantly for you. So like, why
It's
not?
more like flow. Like, where would the subheading go? What would it be?
Well, it makes sense because the article is, hey, we're introducing these two
So, like,
members to the board of
okay.
directors. So like, okay, member number one, member number two, and
Yeah.
about the board. And you could have a different set of subheadings if you wanted to for some reason, right? Maybe these two came in because they represent certain kinds. I don't know, but like there's different ways. And you just say, well, that's cool. You put in subheadings, but I'd rather have it be like this, and then it'll do it for you. It'll just change it for you right on, like literally left it. You're talking on the
Hmm.
left, and on the right side, it's making all the changes as we're doing it. Like it's ridiculous. It's so good. You literally tell it what you want, right? I mean,
Yeah.
what I want, right? All I want to do is just get on a Zoom and show you that you could do this. And it's not like some AI thing where you're just changing keywords or links or something. Like it's actually improving, like it's checking for typos, it's checking, like it's doing all the stuff that a good editor would do, right? And it's basically free. I don't know how much convincing is required to do this, right? I'm not even charging you guys for this. I just want to see you guys use it. I have no agenda except I just want to see you guys, get your number of articles out more and just improve and like choose any of these articles, tell it what you want, and just have the thing do it. Right?
Okay.
Like here, JV, the 2024. Oh, what's the impact in 2024? This is a good thing, right? Because any kind of nonprofit, or because you're a C8 or whatever, they you want to show that you guys are making a big impact, and
So this article has a lot of links and heading.
that's great.
So that, like,
But there's nothing linking to it, and no one else is linking to it, and it's all zeros. No
well,
one's
it's the
coming.
newest one. So how do
I know it's new,
so
but
going, like, I literally just did that last night.
yeah,
It's hot off the press.
yeah. So we can, that's true. So it's like vegetables. Give it you plant the seed, and then
Yeah.
evaluate. You can't evaluate on the first day after you planted the seed. There's no vegetables yet. I know.
So when you say link to it, that's going to be another page, not like a newsletter sending people there, right?
Yeah.
Or it
So
could.
let's say, for example, here that you care about DEI, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Well, I could then ask what are the other places on the site where we talk about DEI? And let's link from those events back to this one
Mhm.
and those initiatives and those success stories. Because if this is the summary of 2024, then doesn't it make sense that if anyone comes in on some other story that was published on diversity, that should link back because in
Mhm.
that other article, and let's say, to your point, Bree, this page only existed today. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, you wrote all these other articles about DEI and you got awards and these other people, it's like all these other things have happened before this article were written. Well, if you would go to any of those past articles, shouldn't in those articles, it should say like, oh, and to learn more about, let's say there's this one like, person who got hired or like, I don't know, some sort of event happened, right? At the end of that past article, it should say, and to learn more about what we're doing with diversity, check out our 2024 impact. Like that would actually be helpful, right? But then this thing only just came out, and if you're writing this, you're not thinking like, oh shoot, what are all the other places that I should link to, or from this one link to those other examples. And there's no, not that you have to, but there's no links in here. right?
Mhm.
So, okay, you sort of even mentioned it. You sponsor two directors participating in this diversity awards program,
I didn't
Valerie
put a
and
link
Nikki.
to.
Okay, well, maybe you have an article about these two girls.
I
Well,
don't.
okay.
That was like the one we didn't put out an article to. So I didn't have anything to link to unless it would be ABCA's website. But what's the point of that?
We do have
That's
a
not
video.
relevant.
We do have
Yeah,
videos of them.
you're right. Yeah. Oh, if there's a video,
Video?
yeah,
We
great.
haven't posted them yet.
Oh, so the other thing too, I think I'd
At
show you.
YouTube? Or what? Where would
So,
I filmed them at ABCA convention, so I could put it on YouTube. I just
Mhm.
still have them. I haven't.
Eventually, yeah. Okay.
so this is something we talked like a year ago, right? So I might have forgotten. But these videos, 649, 3 million views, not bad. Every one of these things can immediately be turned into an article or blog post as well, but they're not. And then once these videos become articles, then it's easier to link to them. Obviously, you can still do the embed, you can still link to YouTube, which is part of Google, but it's going to be, your SEO is going to be more powerful if you turn each of these things into an article too. Now the AI can do that real easy. And even like create shorts. You only have three shorts. Well, you should have tons of shorts. Shorts are not that I'm trying to jump on the bandwagon or whatever, but shorts for things like sports or quick little hits, like shorts do better than long form videos, especially if we look at the most recent videos, which typically, as you know, aren't doing as good, right? For all the reasons, because it's new. But also the chicken and the egg is that if people aren't seeing them and engaging on them, and like here, 78 people viewed it, but there's very little in terms of like comments. Oh, you turned them off. Okay, fine. Then,
Podcast.
okay, so this is a 50-minute podcast. How many people do you think? I mean, we could log into the analytics and see. You already know the answer, but how many people are going to sit and watch through this whole 50 minutes and how to manage a team and whatnot? Well, and I bet you that like somewhere in the middle, there are these gold nuggets where they're having this discussion, but people are never going to get to the gold nuggets because they have to, sit through 35 minutes or however many minutes, right? But if we turn it into an article, then those, or pull out snippets of those into shorts, then those become more discoverable because people are not going to sit for 50 minutes is basically an hour, right? I mean, who's going to do that, right? And then this will rank on these other people's names too when they get turned into an article. Yeah.
Okay.
So. Oh, another thing. Did I show you what Google has done with knowledge panels and how this is becoming sort of AI search results and whatnot?
No.
So if we look at, let's say there's people that you work with that are important in the world of volleyball. Your team members, high profile coaches, officials, people who run events, there's all sorts of people, right? Professional volleyball players, right?
Mhm.
And if we search them, is it this guy? He's a coach. That first one?
Yeah.
So that's impressive, right? This is called a knowledge panel. All these colored boxes, right? And then
Mhm.
below it'll say some about stuff like off of Wikipedia. It'll have his LinkedIn, Twitter, and people also look for these other people who I assume are in the world of volleyball, right?
Mhm.
Okay. And here's some videos, right? And some other stuff about him, right? So this is just something, I think it's really nice because if someone is, and it is not just like an NIL kind of thing, but if they, like here, this guy, Google knows that this guy's a coach, right? And this is just like a nice thing you can do for everybody, just to help them out. Costs nothing, very easy to do. But you see where it says claim this knowledge panel? And then it comes to this thing here where
Mhm.
it says get verified. So when you see Google say get verified, that means this guy has not claimed his knowledge panel. And like, why wouldn't you? If you're a coach, if you're a university, if you're a player, if you're a parent, if you're like whatever, like why wouldn't you want to protect your name and claim it? It's free. It's easy to do. It helps the results show up better. I mean, just there's so many reasons. Like it's like a no-brainer thing, right? So then I built a tool, which is free. You don't even have to log in or anything like that. And you just put in the person's name and it searches Google's knowledge graph, which is its database of objects, right? All like everything, every event, every person, every organization, like every, park, everything, every noun is an object that Google's trying to figure out in its world of understanding what's going on, right? And how these things are tied to each other, right?
Mhm.
So, oh wow, this guy's a big deal. 678. Anything above 400 is a celebrity, basically. So this guy's a big deal. I mean, why wouldn't you, like, obviously if they're on the podcast, you want to take people who are a big deal, right? And you see this ID. This is the ID that Google has assigned to this object in the knowledge graph called Hugh McCutcheon, right? And as far as Google's saying its understanding of this particular object is this kind of stuff, and everything else we saw, it links to his LinkedIn and his Twitter, like all this stuff. Like when we're asking Google, what do you know about this object? And it says, well, this is what I know about this object. This object, this object, right? So you could just tell them like, hey, Hugh, by the way, so awesome that you are on our podcast, but you have not claimed your knowledge panel, which is all the stuff that shows up, because he's important enough that a knowledge panel shows up. If you're not important and you're nobody, there's no point in doing this, because Google doesn't have enough. Okay. But it's so important for your career and profile and whatever that you have a confidence score of 678. So the more stuff Google has about you, the more podcasts you're on, the more accomplishments you have, the more like press and awards you've won and been in the news, and like the higher this number becomes. So this is important. Like this guy, it's like not locking your front door. Like, hey, you should go in and go claim your profile on Google and be verified. And you don't have to be a celebrity to do this. But when you help Google understand who you are, then these results become better and better, and you can sort of control them. And people are asking, how much does he make and what happened to him? And you can see like all these other people are, Gophers volleyball coach. Who's the highest paid volleyball coach? Oh no, that's this guy. You can see all these sort of related questions and people asking questions. It's sort of like almost, you get a sense of this tabloidal view of how people are looking at stuff, right? So everyone should do, and you can just tell everyone that you work with in the world of volleyball, especially you can build better relationships with these coaches. And you say, you do this, you're going to get a better profile result. So if I come in and I'll do it without these tools, you can see this is a cleaner view. This is what the other, in Chrome, you see like all this other SEO data. So now I'm just doing it clean in Safari so you can see what it looks like, right? So if he wants to, like, maybe he's like, I don't like this picture of me because it's not a good, like, well, okay, we then claim the profile and now you can log in and you don't have to be a huge deal. Like you can even look at me. I got one too, right?
I typed my name in and I didn't have one.
What's your last name?
Shunzel. Schunze.
Second. BRANA.
Shunzel.
Like that?
Yeah. Yep.
And by the way, if we do the SEO properly, then we can get a partial knowledge panel. And then as we start to connect
only
everything.
24.
Yeah, but it's, you know what? This is
okay.
It exists. It exists. Okay. The fact that so this is called a stub of a knowledge panel, or some people call it, what's the other word they like to, anyway, there's different words for like, okay, so that other guy, Hugh, and I have the full knowledge panel of all the boxes, right? But you have a knowledge panel and it shows, is this true?
It's old.
Kansas State. Okay. And you have Marietta you're in Atlanta?
Yeah.
Marietta. Oh, I'll be in Marietta in 2 weeks.
Oh, nice. For what?
I have a client who is the Awad Law Firm. Yeah, personal injury attorneys. You probably see their billboards everywhere.
Yes.
By the way, they make these attorneys make a lot of money.
I'm
So
sure.
they can pay. They have no problem paying. So what we do on the commercial side and what we do on the nonprofit side with you guys is totally different.
Yes.
Because theirs is
you're giving us pro bono sessions.
Yeah, because I just it's one of those things where you want to do good instead of just make money. And at a certain point, like you make enough money, you're like, I need to do good things too. Okay. So here it's got, when we say, so we're asking Judge Google, all right, what do you know about Bree Shunzel? Well, the most authoritative thing is Kennesaw State, showing that, okay, fine, maybe he was old, but that's the most authoritative thing. And then your LinkedIn, Instagram, and maybe there's some other pieces. There's JVA, okay? And you're mentioned in these other articles, but that's about it. That's it.
Man.
So
these were so long ago.
if you are an author or if you've been on other people's podcasts, or and when I
Mhm.
say author, I mean you're the author of a blog post. Like, oh, the highlights of 2024. Like, okay, that should be tied to you as an author, right? Or whoever. Then that can increase this. And the other thing too is you see here the triple dots when we come in and claim this knowledge panel. So if you come in and claim the knowledge panel, you'll get a better result just off of that. Because then notice on the bottom right here, it doesn't link to your Twitter or to your LinkedIn or whatnot. I mean, it's showing here, but they're not so sure. Like you basically, it has to be so like rock solid, obvious. Yes, this makes sense. That then it'll show like here, like this, right? That's what I want to show. And plus, it's just going to be better to show this knowledge panel than not, right? You agree, like it's better to show this. It's more authoritative to show this than to show the regular search results, right? So then you just go in and claim it.
I
And
don't
so
see where to claim it.
you don't know where to claim it?
I don't have that option to claim it.
Yeah, well, you have to go to this URL. You see the URL is KGMID equals this whole thing. You have to show the you have to use our tool or be a programmer to find this URL.
Will you share that URL?
Yeah, here I'm going to put it into the chat.
Copy paste.
So I'm going to put
Can I ask a question about that ID?
no, of
Can
course.
you, is there any way like on YouTube to tag Hugh with his ID to get it
Yes.
to connect? Okay.
Oh yeah. And then so the other thing too is that so if he claims himself on and goes through this process, which I'll show you is really easy, that helps him, of course, for all the obvious reasons, professionally and whatever. And that also helps you guys because then his stuff that shows up on your YouTube or whatever is going to be more visible, which helps JVA because it shows the association between like the more powerful he is and there's association with him and JVA, the better it benefits JVA too, right?
Because we have John Speraw on a podcast, on that same podcast.
Okay.
And he's like the new CEO of USA Volleyball.
Well, that's probably important. Okay. So on this podcast, or not this episode, but another one.
So on that one, he's like the John Speraw discusses leadership.
Oh, there it is. John Sproul. Okay. So, what's funny is I bet you he's not taking everyone, by the way, should just grab their name. I bet you he's not taking it. Oh no, someone does have it. Is that him? John Sproul. Let's see. Oh, he does. Well, look at him. It's funny because like people who are not celebrities but are still important, they usually haven't claimed their name. And then we built a whole platform that builds this stuff out. And you can see like there's like nothing going on here. So he just put this thing up and hasn't really touched it, which is fine. He should mention you guys though, like, hey, I was just on the podcast with JVA and we talked about whatever. So let's look him up.
So I have to like add photos of myself when I verify. Is that
You don't have to. I mean, if you add, properly pimp out your LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter, then it'll pull all of it. Oh wow, this guy is a really big deal. 1634. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Did he claim his knowledge panel? Wow. See this? Dang. Yeah. Look at all this. What happened to John Sproul? That's you understand? Like we talked about PAA a year ago. You remember, like when people type in whatever question, they're also asking these questions. So these are related queries that should link back to this. Who is the CEO of USA Volleyball? Well, it's John Sproul, and it comes from this place. What happened to John Sproul? Well, this is what's happened to him. Okay, so let's see. Has he claimed it? What do you think? Yes or no? Has he claimed his knowledge panel?
No.
I bet you he hasn't. Yeah. Let's see. Nope, he's not. So he should. Why wouldn't you? It's so easy too. I wrote a whole article on how to do it. Like literally, how to claim your knowledge panel. I wrote this whole thing showing how to do it. I use mine. I've done this for hundreds of people, right? And it just goes through the whole thing. Like, here's what a full knowledge panel is. Here's what the different sections are. Here's what a partial knowledge panel is. Here's how to deal with various issues if, someone else has the same name and all this kind of stuff, right? So it just goes through this whole thing. And then you come to this page, which I just showed you if you haven't verified yourself. Because when you verify yourself with Google to prove that you are that person, then they allow you to manage that knowledge panel. Otherwise, because if they didn't have a verification process, anybody could come in and just, deface all the other stuff on the internet, which Google doesn't want, right? So when you verify who you are, either you're that person or your agent or whatever manager does it for you. Because like, who are you? Then you verify that, and then you come through and you can do this whole thing, right? Which only takes 5 minutes. But once you verified it all and go through all of it, and there's various things that they can, where's the rest of the article? There's another part over here, right? Then they're like, ta-da, you got your knowledge panel, and now you can log in and see all the stuff, right? So there's that. I'll put this into the chat. So
Which
you should
knowledge
tell John,
panel?
should
It's
tell,
causing an error for me with which knowledge panel do you want to claim? I paste in the one that's at the top of my search, but then it says should start with one of the following domain paths.
It would be the KG, should be.
okay. So you want to claim yours, Bree?
Yeah.
Okay. So here, let's click on yours. Okay. And claim this knowledge panel. Then we click on the blue button, and now you fill out the form.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm there.
So is this you? Yes. And then, oops. And then you say, yep, I'm this person.
Mhm.
Okay. And then what part are you getting stuck on?
I did all that. Keep going.
Okay.
Oh, wait, go up. Sorry. What is your full? It's right after it says which knowledge panel do you want to claim?
How about this? I'll stop sharing. You share your screen. Do you have duplicates?
I don't think so. No, thanks. Okay, so I'm there. Do I copy paste that?
Hang on. Go to that. Okay. Find the knowledge by searching for your entity.
I think just erase the.
Oh yeah. I know. Where you're. Yeah. Go to your knowledge panel.
Go where?
Go to your knowledge panel. Okay. Now on the triple dots, click on that again, and then click share. Grab that link.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. And by the way, don't submit the thing yet, because if you do that,
Not letting me.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it'll reject you anyway. You don't want that. So go up a little bit. Okay. And where it says why. Okay. See there? Tell us why you're claiming this knowledge panel. So most people, I've done this hundreds of times. Most people like, oh, well, because I want a knowledge panel. Like, no, right? So what you have to do is say, I'm Bree Schenzel, and I run the marketing at JVA, and this is what you basically need to say a little bit about who you are and why it's important for you to have your online entity claimed, because it's important because we're helping a lot of volleyball players, and they're going to Google me because of the articles that me and my team write, and because I'm well known in the world of volleyball, and because of the, you need to boast a little bit, right?
Okay.
I work with a lot of high profile, volleyball people. We put on a lot of events and training, and it's important for my professional reputation to, you need to say, you have to have a few sentences, because if you don't, because remember, a human is looking at this, right? And if the human sees oh, I just want my knowledge panel. Nope.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's accept that.
Yeah, just you got to work with me and fix the space there. Okay, and then on the screenshots, you want to have.
I have to put something.
Yeah, you have to show that you actually. So you have to log into your Instagram and WordPress and Twitter and LinkedIn, and then show and don't just take a screenshot of the profile like it says there. You have to show something where you have to only someone who's logged in can see that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay.
So if you miss any one of these steps, they will reject you.
Okay.
Which doesn't seem fair, but all the time, people will say oh, I went and claimed, I tried, I filled out the form and they rejected me. I'm like, did you read my article that shows why, and that part where why do you want to have a knowledge panel or uploading the IDs? They didn't read it. They just went through it and submitted. And I told you, I wrote a whole article showing you what the.
Okay.
So, it's almost like you could have an internal service to do it for all your JVA people, or do it for all the top coaches, or just, it's for the same reason you would have a LinkedIn, right? I mean, I would argue but people, for some reason, they don't know this.
Okay. Well, Dennis, I don't want to take up more of your time. That was very helpful. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
I'm happy to answer any questions you guys have, but the main thing is I just have a selfish interest, and I want to see you guys actually do the stuff, actually use the AI tools, actually, whatever. I'm happy to give you logins to stuff. I mean, I'm happy, or other people on our team are happy to, if for some reason it's like, oh, I don't remember all the stuff Dennis showed, it was too difficult, like we'll sit down and do the first ones with you. Like I just want to see you implement, right?
Yeah, I think we will more this year. We've got a little more manpower, and that's really the key, I think, right?
And I see this all the time where you guys are not the only ones where it's like, oh, you see something cool, but then you just, for some reason, a year later, you haven't done anything for various reasons, right? But and not
But
trying
at
to blame
least it's
anybody.
going in the right direction.
Right, right. And
Backward.
the key is you guys have a strong brand, and
Mhm.
especially with education, which is what you're in charge of, like that education just lends itself towards all the stuff that we're doing.
Right.
It's fantastic. I mean, you've got all this great education. Why wouldn't you want more people to see it?
Yeah.
It's so much harder for these personal injury attorneys because their stuff is like, okay, if you get in an accident, call us and we will, fight the insurance company. Like, I know how to do that, but that's just way harder to do. It's way more competitive. It's just people don't find it interesting because they don't like,
I have a
attorneys.
question for you.
Yeah.
So we have content on our site that's only viewable with a login.
Uh-huh.
We are also placing content that we've shared with everybody in our blog as an educational resource, only viewable with a login.
Yeah.
So it's like in two places on our website.
Right.
Is there more value in one over the other when it comes to SEO? And
Well,
what
you
we
can,
should
so
do?
anytime it's gated or there's a paywall, like if you're the New York Times or Wall Street Journal, you can show a preview and then, oh, to see the full article, you have to sign up or something like that. You've seen that before, right?
Yeah.
So that's basically what you do because Google has a rule. I forgot the exact name of it, but basically they will index it. So you want to make it indexable. They'll index it, but then only show like the first part of it. So that way, at least humans who are searching can see that it exists and they can read the
Mhm.
first paragraph or two, but then they have to sign in with a membership to see the rest. And that way you can have your cake and eat it too. Because if it's all completely hidden behind a paywall or even if there's a free thing but you still have to sign up for something, if you hide it behind that and there's no way for Google to see it, then it's like people are less likely to become members because they don't realize those things exist, right? So you have to make it Googleable, but it doesn't mean you give them the full article because Google can tell, right? There's a way to set that up.
Yeah.
And all
Okay.
the major media guys do that. So it's not like you have to reinvent the wheel. It's not hard to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good
So
stuff. Katie, do you have any questions or good? All right. Awesome. Well, thank you. How long are you in Marietta for?
2 days.
Oh, quick.
Yeah. Well, if you guys are around, I could stop by and pop in and say hi.
Okay. I'm trying to see if I have where the preview. There's excerpt. Is that the same thing? Optional handcrafted summaries of your content that can be used in your theme. I'm
No.
gonna think of WordPress. Show previews. I don't see preview. There's an SEO section. SEO.
Do you have did
meta
we give you the rank
description.
math plugin? That'll help you configure a lot of those pieces, especially
Okay.
like schema and whatnot. Like we paid for all these enterprise, like we basically paid for these licenses to be across unlimited sites so you guys could use our licenses and not have to pay all this money. So
Mhm.
I recommend rank math that will help you. But if you're going to use rank math, you might as well use Link Whisper and use the AI tools. The combination of all three of those is just incredible.
Okay.
But then someone has to spend an hour a week on the thing, right? Otherwise, there's no point in having all these tools.
Right. Right.
Added to my task list.
I don't know how busy Katie is, or if she wants to put an extra hour a week, or where that time's going to come from among all
Well,
the
I
other
told Katie
properties.
we need an SEO intern to go and
Seriously, like
update all of our previous content.
Katie, can you not just find someone like some college student or someone just who can put in some time? And it's great for them to learn how to use AI tools. And I mean, it's a cool thing to have in your resume, and they can demonstrate, they can show like, hey, I did this, this, and this, and I increased this amount of traffic for JVA. Because if you do it right, we can measure it, right? It's not like an art project where like, oh, I think the painting's nice. Like, okay,
Yeah.
you can measure everything. You can measure the impact of the things that we're doing.
Yes.
And then that gives Katie management experience.
Well, we're about to hire a new person, and maybe we add this to their.
And then as part of the thing, so what I often see, Bree, is people will hire someone and then train them. And then that sometimes people just don't get it for some reason. They just can't get it or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we like to do is if you're hiring, you could say as part of it, here's some of the tools that we use, or here's some of the things that we expect you to know how to be able to do. And as part of it, they could do an exercise that takes 5 minutes to demonstrate they can use the AI or whatnot. That way, they can come in and like everyone that I know in marketing is saying AI is mandatory. Like if it's just like, can you use Microsoft Word? And like, well, yeah, you obviously have to be. If you don't know how to do that, then how are you going to function, right?
Yeah.
Can you type at least 30 words per minute? And it's like that kind of thing. So we're happy to provide our training to anyone that you bring on, or even any candidates, and give access to our academy. I think I showed you, we have an academy with all the courses in it.
No, I think this is me and Katie.
Okay.
Yeah.
But either way, when you hire this new person, I'd say, hey, if you want them to do SEO, we have a course on SEO. And then you have people like me that'll help. Obviously, we prefer they go through the course first and then ask questions instead of like personally being taught the course.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
whatever it takes to get it implemented, I want to see it done, right? That's just how I am.
Yeah.
Because I know it's good for you guys. And you're the director of education, and more education will drive more membership revenue and all that, right?
Yes. Well, thanks again.
All right.
Sure.
Well, anything else I can do to help
Very
out? Or was this was this a good use of time?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've got some things written down to do. Katie
All
did.
right.
So appreciate it, Dennis, very much.
Awesome, guys. Well, Happy New Year. And just reach out if you need anything.
We will. Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Happy New Year.